I love color. And as an artist who has been creating art for products for 21 years, I have had to learn a lot about the color wheel, how to mix and match colors so that they speak to you as well as my art does. In this video, we are going to talk about this quilt block, and I'm going to show you how changing the colors or the tones of the colors changes everything. So let's jump in. In this video, I want to talk about color and Christmas. So the most traditional Christmas colors are actually complementary colors. And complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. Red and green, I would say, is the most known complementary color scheme because of Christmas, whether people know that it's a complementary color scheme or not. I want to dive into this a little bit deeper in regards to Christmas and the colors that you're choosing of red and green. So here is a quilt block. This one is made with traditional Christmas colors. Way back in the early 2000s, I used to teach about color for Simple Scrapbooks magazine. And we used to call this color scheme, where it's basically primary red and primary green, as Christmas at Walmart. It's very traditional, mass appeal. It's what most people think of when they think of Christmas. But what if we switched up the tone of the green and the red, and we picked something a little bit different, but that's still green and red? How is that going to look different? Let's look at it. This is the same exact quilt block, but with more of a cranberry and olive. And then I also changed the gold. So these are very primary colors, and these are much more muted, a much more sophisticated color palette, and what we would call Christmas at Nordstrom. It gives a different feel. Same exact block, but a different feel. So when would you use these? This you would use maybe for a quilt for an adult, or this color scheme might be for a dinner party. This would be more appropriate for a kid's party, or just something really traditional. That doesn't mean adults aren't going to like this color, or kids aren't going to like these colors. Not saying that. We're going general. So now let's look at another color scheme that's quite different, but not super uncommon for Christmas. Many people have strong feelings about this color scheme for Christmas. They love it, or some people think it's stupid and shouldn't be for Christmas. I call it retro Christmas. And it's kind of combining the pinks and the lime green or the mint green. If you put a lot of white and red, you're going to end up with pink. So we're still in this complementary thing. It's usually a bit more vintage. Sometimes you'll see pink and maybe an ice blue, just much more of a pastel look. This color scheme often goes with white flocked trees or pink flocked trees. So this is just an example of how changing the colors, and this is just using solid colors, but changing the solid colors really changes the look and feel of the quilt block. So we're going to do more of these little examples in the color theory section, just to give you some different ideas about how you can change the feel of your project based on the color fabric you choose. You can then take this up a level by choosing textured fabrics or fabrics with prints. On this particular design, you could even fussy cut maybe some chickadees or something in particular in the center. Lots of things you could do. You could also do a solid outside, maybe a white ornament. The way you choose colors and the fabrics to use for a quilt block or any other sewing project is really going to impact the look and feel of what you're creating. But most importantly, do what you love, or if you're making it for someone else, think about them and their style and their color preferences and choose accordingly. All right, so what do you think? These are the 3 blocks that we did. This is the very traditional red and green with a pretty primary yellow for the top of the ornament. This one, a little bit more sophisticated. These are more the color schemes that you would see in more high-end retailers. Maybe this is the color scheme that you have in your house more than the brighter. And depending on what you're going to be doing with whatever you're making, you might want to go with this instead of this. Or maybe you want to go outside of the box. You love white flocked Christmas trees. You love anything retro, and you're going to go with something more like this. So if you were making a quilt or a bigger project that had multiple blocks, if I was going retro, I would be doing some that are pink and kind of an ice blue, maybe purple and pink. You can just really play with these colors. put the pink on the inside, the green on the outside. So many things that you can do just by changing your colors. And if you notice, these are all solid colors. And that alone makes a huge difference. Now, what would happen if you added some texture or some actual prints, like a holly print or fussy cut something in the center? So many ways to go. So I am excited to share some of these color ideas and show you just how much a choice in color or print can affect what you're sewing, whether it be quilting, a zipper bag, or any other thing made out of fabric. So watch for more videos on this topic, and then be sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss an easy sewing project, beginner to intermediate quilt block or quilting project, as well as ideas for how to sew and sell. My name is Tara Reed. I'm an artist. I'm a fabric designer with Riley Blake Designs, and I love to share different tips on color, sewing, and quilting.